Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Creative Subdivide, and in this video we are going to start up practically a little bit of programming for creating our own movable obstacle. And also in the last video, so practically we had something like this created, and which you could collide with things and then destroy yourself, so as you can see, and use to load new scene. So this is what we have presently. But in this video, let's first set up our environment. And to do that, what I have done is I have prefabbed this obstacle. And you know how to prefab things up. Now we already had a tag, namely obstacle1, or obstacle in your case if you must have named it obstacle. What we're gonna do is now we are gonna just control D things, and then we need to just control D things and control D, duplicate. So control D, duplicate, and bring it here. Now obviously I want this one to be a little bit smaller, so I'm going to size it smaller, and I'm going to keep it here. Now we want our game to be as difficult as possible, and now let's just place one more obstacle, Ctrl D, and here. So the obstacle that we are placing right in here is the obstacle that I want to be a moving obstacle. So I'm going to name this moving obstacle. Now, but the second thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a tag, and no, not this one, sorry, this did a mistake. Now, in this moving obstacle one, we need to add something, namely rigid body, and let this remain as obstacle one. The rigid body is pretty good enough, and then in this one, the walls, we're gonna add a wall one, we're gonna add tag, and we're gonna create a tag, namely walls. We have the walls right in here, and then I'm gonna go to this wall one, and I'm gonna change this to walls. Let me see, yeah, and I'm gonna change the wall to walls. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the moving obstacle, and I'm going to go and add component. And I'm going to write a script, namely moving obstacle. Moving obstacles are also really good. So what we will do is we will add a script, namely moving obstacle. So what I'm going to do right in here, that I'm going to go to this moving obstacle script right in there, and I'm going to click open so that it opens the moving obstacle script. Now in this script, practically, firstly we are going to delete these two, using systems collection generic and using, we don't need it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go and create a public variable. Now somebody just said me that he didn't understand public and private difference. So practically, let's create a private variable first. Float, private float, let's name this like move speed is equals to let's name this 6f, and done. Now when you have a private float, let me just do it. I won't save this. I won't have an access to this in other programs, and practically I won't be able to see this even in the inspector, which is in the player. I didn't play it? No, it is in the, yeah, the moving obstacle one. So practically the difference between the moving obstacle and you're gonna see here is that I won't be able to see things up. So what I need to do is I need to go right in here, and I'm gonna change this to public, which is obviously much better as you can access it from the inspector. Public float, move speed. Now obviously I don't need this function at all, so I'm going to delete this function, and I'm going to just go and create something in this. Now I'm going to write transform dot translate, and right in here what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a new vector3, and then I'm going to add this. That is, we need to move on X, Y, Z, so obviously we're going to move on the X-axis, and yeah, so X-axis. So what I want to do is I'm going to keep the move speed into time dot delta time. It's pretty good. And then comma 0 comma 0 here. So done. Now what I'm going to do is we need to create a void on collision. Enter. Now why I want to do this, because I don't want my obstacle to move at one side only. I want it to collide with this thing and then come back to this side. It's a really simple logic, okay? So right in here, firstly I'm going to create a parameter that is collision, and let's just name it like MOV for move. I'm going to go to this side and I'm going to write MOV dot game object dot tag is double equals to, and right in here, let me just see, I forgot the name of the tag. And one thing that we need to do is, I forgot to do, is firstly let me backspace the whole thing. Yeah, if just a small mistake. If MOV dot game object dot tag is double equals to let's just name the tag here. There's going to be the volts. You need to have the exact spelling. There's volts. If there is a capital, then put a capital, and if there is a small letter, put a small letter. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this variable, namely move speed is equals to -1 into move speed. Put this. Now practically, if it is 6, then it's going to move on -6, so it's going to go on opposite side. And if it's -6, it's going to multiply with -1, so it's going to become 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this, and we are going to head directly to Unity. So we are just going to watch this one, and we don't need to watch our player, as there's no need practically this time. So now when you play it, it takes a little bit of time to load, obviously, and you're going to see that our player, this obstacle is moving. So to make it more clear, let's just play our game for a second. Before doing that, let's just go right in there, and it will start to play, and let's just play it. So you're going to see that our obstacle is moving, and you can change the speed as you want, but I want this to be a moving obstacle. Now obviously I'm going to keep another obstacle, that is this obstacle 1, and let's just see what happens if you firstly collide with the moving obstacle. So I'm going to try to collide, although it's really hard because it depends upon the obstacle, where it is. Oh, I missed it. So again, let's just try to do that, and it's gonna although respond the same, as you can see. This is because it also has a tag of obstacle 1. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up our whole level by just taking this obstacle and pressing now the ground that we have, I think, is really small in total. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ground and I'm going to press shift. I don't want the main camera to be here, so I'm going to take it over here. Take the ground, wall, and wall 1, and press CTRL plus D because it's too small for me to play. So now I'm going to just keep it right until here. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to start to set up my level. Practically it's decent enough to play in this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to firstly take my first obstacle, that is this obstacle 1, and press CTRL D, and I'm going to place it here. Here. And then I'm going to take my moving obstacle and I'm going to press CTRL D, and I'm going to place it here. CTRL D, 1 to be here, and then CTRL D, and 1 to be here. At the last, I'm gonna place. I hope this one's isn't the last obstacle, right? Yeah. Ctrl D, and I'm gonna take this one at the last. Okay. So at the last, I'm gonna keep two obstacles so that you have to move it from the between both two, and Ctrl D at the end to make it like this, so that the game's more playable. So now what I'm gonna do is right in here, you can see that I have my whole gameplay set. That is, oh no, oh no, oh no. Okay, and if you ever see something like, so let's just play it. It's too difficult to play. I mean, 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, but I win. Okay. Now, if you ever feel that your object, if you want to really play fast, and sometimes let me just show you this. If this happens with you, is that when you do things a little bit more faster, oh man, yeah. So you can see that our game is perfectly working fine, but we always need an area in which we can win. Although we're not gonna create the winning part right in here. I'm gonna select the last obstacle I put. There's this one. I'm gonna press F because I want to go to the last point. Okay. So obviously, but we want an area on which shows that yeah, this is the area you win. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to um, sorry, I'm going to add a 3D object, namely plane. I'm going to take this 3D object a little bit down this plane, I mean, till it reaches the height till here. I'm going to take it till here, and then I'm going to size it a little bit up on the x-axis. Go right in here and x-axis and a little bit on z-axis. I'm gonna go till here, and yeah, till this point I'm gonna reach. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play it again. So practically there was no point in adding that, but yeah, as our level is I can't even win my own game. That's so pity on me. Yeah. So as our level is really small, so I don't want the Venn area to be here. I want this to be here. So let's just create another material, namely create material, and name this Venn area. I want this something close to light blue because I think that's a good color, and I want it a little bit less shinier, but yeah, a little bit more also. Increase the metallicness maybe? No. Till here it looks good, yeah. Now I'm going to take this Venn area and I'm going to put this here. So it becomes a little bit more attractive. And I'm going to make it, take this plane, name this Venn area. Although this area is not going to do anything, but I've just kept it because I wanted to create a Venn area. And it also creates a possibility of creating a Venn by two sides. It's either if you collide with this or if you use a trigger. So we reached a Venn area, okay? So this should be your result till now. But right in here what I saw is that things are really unmanageable. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a folder, namely material, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this material, take all the materials and put them inside the material panel, because you know it's too untidy. So, and if you're creating a big game, then obviously you should make things like that so that it's a little bit more smooth and it will be better for you to understand. Even scripts. So till now we have 4 scripts. We're gonna move all the 4 inside a game panel. That is scripts. Why not moving? It's panel. So yeah, and like this you can move all the scripts if you want. like in this case I also want to, but the point is that it will be a waste of time, as I already told you what you have to do. So what I'm gonna do is we are gonna just concentrate now here. Although we don't have a lot to do right in this, so let's just see one last time what we have created. And the point is that what I feel really now, I never felt it before, is that our game is becoming too easy for anyone to play. And this is because the moving obstacle has a really small speed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the moving obstacle 1, and I'm going to change the speed to like 8. And I'm going to go, although we don't have a lot of moving obstacles, so I'm going to change 2 of them to 8 and 2 of them to 3. So now I think it will be a little bit more difficult for a person to play our game, because difficulty level also makes a game look more hard to play. Like you can see right in there, the obstacle that I want to cross at first moves really fast. So yeah, so that's it for this video, everybody. Hope you guys liked it and loved it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, don't forget to hit the like, and let's please keep on to these videos.